Under the vast expanse of a Lancaster sky, Miriam Fisher busied herself tending to the garden beds that bordered her father's property. The soft, rhythmic sound of her hoe mingling with earth was a quaint melody, one that resonated deeply within her. Hers was a life simplified by faith, family, and the fertile soil that sustained their Amish community. But as gentle as her life was, Miriam held a fragile hope in her heart for a love that was yet to bloom. One evening, as the sun draped the horizon in hues of burnt orange and lavender, Miriam's solitude was broken by the arrival of a buggy outside the confines of her garden. From it descended young Ezekiel King, a man known for his devoutness and the quiet strength he carried like a shawl around his broad shoulders. Ezekiel had come to discuss his plans to expand his farmlands, which neighbored Miriam's own, with her father. Miriam had always admired Ezekiel from a respectful distance. His gentle demeanor and unwavering faith had often filled her thoughts and whispered promises in her dreams. The following Sunday, at the community gathering, Ezekiel approached Miriam under the pretext of seeking advice on cultivating orchards, knowing well that Miriam's hands had turned many a barren patch into lush greenery. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, and Miriam found comfort in Ezekiel's earnest gaze. Over the next few weeks, these consultations became the foundation of a budding friendship, steeped in shared beliefs and hushed laughter. However, the path of love was not without its hurdles. Rumors swirled like autumn leaves in the wind, as whispers of their growing fondness for one another reached even the most reserved ears within their community. Some doubted the suitability of the match, citing differences in familial heritage and economic status. In her heart, though, Miriam knew that these worldly concerns paled in the face of divine will and the purity of their intentions. As summer waned and the harvest season approached, Ezekiel invited Miriam to a barn raising on his land, an event that would consolidate his standing in the community and a chance for them to openly acknowledge their feelings. Amid the clatter of hammers and the joyous strains of hymns, Ezekiel found a quiet moment to present Miriam with a small, delicate gift, a hand-carved wooden locket. Inside, he had placed a lock of his hair, a token of his affection and commitment. Miriam accepted the locket with a trembling joy, her eyes reflecting the depth of her feelings as Ezekiel enfolded her hands within his. As the sun dipped below the sprawling fields, they pledged quietly to each other to seek the counsel and blessing of their families and the community. The following days were a whirlwind of preparation and prayer as Miriam and Ezekiel navigated the intricate dance of courtship dictated by their faith and customs. Their families met, dialogues were opened, and a beautiful understanding began to weave its way through both households. On a crisp autumn day, with the entire community assembled, Miriam and Ezekiel stood beneath the sheltering embrace of the elm trees that had witnessed their blooming affection. Their vows were simple, yet profound, rooted in the faith they cherished and the future they envisioned. As the community encircled them with songs of blessings, it was clear that what had started as whispered promises had blossomed into a testament of enduring love, nurtured by faith, patience, and the humble beginnings of a garden chat. And as Miriam walked beside Ezekiel, her heart was ablaze with the realization that love, much like the earth she tended, would always yield abundance under the tender watch of those who cherish it.